Oh, beautiful, wasn't it, for Jasper Philipsen, who hasn't had a win since stage 1 of the Tour de France when he took the leader's jersey at the biggest bike race of them all, comes to Spain, or Italy rather, and does the same all over again. That was perfect, wasn't it, Adam?
Perfect timing, perfect sprint, and more importantly, perfect lead out. There's one round about 800 to go. They went on the left-hand side, everyone else went right, and that could have been the difference there. Obviously had the legs to do it, but yeah, they nailed it. Van der Poel or not Van der Poel there, they smashed it right down to a T.
Yeah, it was brilliant, and the perfect line as well. So anybody who was going to try and come round had to go slightly longer. So everything about that sprint, and from the aerial shot, we could just about make him out. With every pedal stroke, he was moving clear. It was a perfect sprint, and also couldn't be more happy for him after that awful, a brilliant, the bittersweet Tour de France that you had. But to come back with a win like that just shows his class.
And that's it. Let's not forget that terrible crash he had at the Tour de France after the best possible start, taking the first stage, taking the yellow jersey. But this is how to round off your season now, isn't it?
I mean, there's still 20 stages to go for him as well, so he's
but
not
it's a
finished
success
yet.
already, surely, this race.
It's a success already, but he won't stop. Yeah. I think after the Tour de France, this is the one thing, tick. Now let's see how many I can get going through it. And I think as well with Jasper, his climbing's got a lot better this year. He's really improved as a bike rider. So even though the stage is 3 guaranteed sprint stages, I reckon he's eyeing up at least 4, maybe 5 stages as a possible win for him. It'll be difficult for him, but I think it's within him now as the rider he's developed into, for sure.
I also think it's just riding the Vuelta is important for next year as well. We'll often talk about the Vuelta is important for the classics and for the tours of next year. You can't have a rider of the class of Philipsen, and if you can help it, not riding a Grand Tour. Because you look at the profile, you think, well, there's only 3 or 4 stages for the sprinters. It's going to be most of this race for him and the bigger guys is going to be brutal. But it'll be in the bank for the classics next year. So now he's got that win, he can just get through this race. And I expect to see more. But it's a big, important workout and a block of training ahead of 2026 as well. It is, though. It is.
He's just taken a stage of the Vuelta A Espana. He's taken the leader's jersey, but we're classing this, Jasper, whether you like it or not, as training for next year. I mean, I can just see from one of our screens here, we've got a bank of monitors in the studio. He looks as fresh as though he's just come back from a training ride. We will be hearing from him very shortly. But Adam, you said about how perfectly they managed the lead out, Alpecin to Koenig. Let's wind this back to just under 2 kilometres to go at 1.7k. Alpecin were regrouping at this stage, and they knew exactly what was lying ahead of them, didn't they?
Yeah, you got Ricard on the front here, who rode the Tour de France, a vital part of that lead out. But you can just see him just glancing back over his shoulder, looking where everyone is. They don't want to go too soon. It's just responding to everyone else. So they did things perfectly. 1.7 k's to go. Only 2 riders left in front of Jasper. So they're just waiting patiently. It's not about... A lot of riders in this situation will find themselves on the front and be like, right, I'm here, let's go. The experience of Ricard is going, we're here, but we're too soon, so just wait, just wait. And then you get into this situation here. You've got Israel Premier Tech on the front, and they're just in the wheels, just waiting, recovering, just biding their time until they can really open things up. And they did it perfectly. That's the first roundabout they go through, and this is with, well, it's about a K to go, just under a K to go. If you look, they were positioned in this line, they're about 5 back, and you can just see that gap in between. I think it's Ethan Vernon's wheel, and this is where they start to make the move, just slowly around the outside, and that's Ricard still on the front, who we saw earlier, so he's waited, being able to do the job later on, and at this point, they're in the full driving seat. Everyone's fighting for Jasper's wheel, and you can see Little Trek right on the right-hand side, Pedersen trying to make it back to the front, but at this point, it's just way too late. This is with, what, 350 to go, 400 to go? I mean, anyone coming around Jasper here, you need a very, very strong sprinter, and it was literally down to the T, and Ethan Vernon there, even round the outside, as Matt said before, he's got to go the long way around, and for Jasper, I mean, that sprint was what? 100 metres, 120 metres.
Absolutely perfect, wasn't it? And just the way Jonas held, there was just enough gap always. There was only space for one rider to come through, and there's no room at all. So they got the line dialed, and Rijkaard clearly, as you say, power, but arguably more importantly, when it's a chaotic sprint like this, as you say, it's just patience and experience and the trust that he's got. But also, like you say, you know, he's only been training. Okay, he rode in Denmark, didn't he? And he rode in Germany, where he was 4th. So he hasn't had a lot of racing ahead of a month at home. But to come back with that sort of class and just look at the gap as well. Yeah. I mean, that was an impressive, emphatic victory for Jasper there.
Yeah, an exceptional finish for him, and just shows the value, the power of having that strong lead-out team as well.